If you experience low back pain while rowing, stay tuned while I walk through 2 common mistakes I see in rowing technique that are not only maybe contributors to your low back pain, but also robbing you of some power, some wattage, and some efficiency in your rowing technique. Hi, I'm Dr. Zach Ratliff, sports chiropractor at TruMotion Therapy, where we work with a lot of athletes, weightlifters, CrossFitters, where rowing is a part of those workouts, as well as we treat a lot of low back pain. And when we see those 2 worlds collide, we gotta wonder why. So a couple of the things that I most often see in rowing form is when people are setting up, as they're coming back into that rowing, they end up really rounding forward in the back. And then to get out of this, they're gonna have to really wrench on the back in order to get to that back position. So one thing that this is gonna do is make those muscles on the back really tighten up, blow up mid-workout, and then you're gonna experience a lot of soreness afterward. So one of the big things is we wanna make sure that when we're in that catch position, that our shoulder blades are down and back, that our elbows are locked out, that we have a stable position, and that we're initiating that push from our legs. So we wanna straighten the legs, then pull back. But we're not getting this bend, we're staying in an upright position, even at the frontmost portion of this catch. Okay. The next fault I commonly see is when people get to the back of the rowing motion, they really extend back and they pull. And what that's gonna do, you're putting your back in a lot of hyperextension, which no one rep is gonna blow up that back. But when you have a hard workout that might be paired with some deadlifts or other things that are fatiguing that low back, it's gonna make sure that that back is overworking a little bit. So instead of, as we get to that back position, really wrenching back into that hyperextension, again, we wanna think staying up nice and tall, and then as we come back, we straighten those legs, and then we pull. But really that lean that we're getting, it's about 10 degrees. We don't wanna be laid back and then trying to pull up to our chin. As we initiate that pull, we wanna be pulling right to the chest, sternum area. All right, so now that we've seen a couple of the faults, let's walk through kind of the main stages of that rowing stroke so we can make it the most efficient. So the first thing is when we get to that front phase, again, for the most part, that leg or that foot is going to stay on that foot plate. We might get a little bit of heel lift, but we don't need to be getting all the way up on our toes. Again, we wanna have as much power output pushing through those foot pedals. So we wanna make sure that we have a good amount of surface area on them. So even if we can't get as far up here, we don't wanna flex through that back, but we wanna make sure that we're in a compact position here. We're gonna first pull with the legs. The rowing is mostly legs, 60 to 70%, but vastly underutilized. Most people overuse the arm portion. So the first stage is we wanna make sure that we're getting a full lockout of those legs. The elbows are remaining long at this point. Then we're gonna initiate a little bit of a lean. Once we've gone there, then we're gonna finish that pull with the arms. Now, when we come back out of this, we're gonna reverse that. So the arms are gonna go long, we're gonna come forward a little bit, and then we're gonna let those knees bend. As we come back out of here, commonly we'll see people let those knees bend before that bar has crossed. And so they start doing this, and then they have to go over the knees, which just isn't as efficient in that stroke. So as we're coming back, we wanna let that bar clear the knees, and then we come forward. So again, it's gonna be legs, core, arms, arms, core, legs. So then when we put it all together, it's a nice cohesive stroke, nice and efficient. We're using mostly legs, and then we're just finishing with that arm pull. And that's how we're gonna get the most watts on that rower, the best output, and hopefully avoid some low back pain while you're rowing. I hope you found some of these tips helpful. If you are still experiencing some low back pain while you're rowing, or you feel like you're not getting as much out of it as you can, I encourage you to check out our website at TruMotionTherapy.com. where we have plenty of resources on mobility and a ton of health content, but also the ability to schedule an appointment with one of our sports chiropractors. And then we can do a full assessment, make sure your technique looks good, and then you're not having any issues with some mobility through the hips or low back that might also be robbing you of some performance in your workouts.